Welcome back, students. We are continuing in Unit 9, page 63. Page 63 on the conversation section. But first, let's check the homework. Page 63 says listen to the conversation, practice reading out loud to yourself, practice repeating the phrases and the strategy, answer the questions, and the pronunciation exercise and the listening exercise. So let's get to it. So listen to this conversation and read along in your book. And then afterwards, practice reading the conversation out loud to yourself.
Page 63. Conversation.
So, are you still working as a model? Not anymore. Now I'm a trendsetter. You're a what? A trendsetter is someone who helps popularize a new fashion. People copy the way I dress, what kind of makeup I put on, and so on. Who do you work for? Well, actually, I work for the fashion industry. When they advertise a new product or brand, I wear it, promote it, and influence people to buy it. Nobody tells me what I should buy. I'm a responsible buyer. I agree, but most people aren't as smart as you. They're so silly that they buy whatever their role models, such as actors or sports stars, advertise. You're absolutely right. But you know, Emily, you are a little out of step with a lot of other people. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Okay, so that is the conversation. So remember to practice reading this on your own several times until you can get it exactly right. And the strategy, we need to practice these. The strategy is expressing agreement. So instead of just being like, yeah, you know, try these phrases. You'll sound a little more eloquent. I agree. You're absolutely right. And I guess you're right. So this one, be careful with this last one. Depending on how you say it, can be positive or negative. So if you say, I guess you're right, that's going to have a positive intonation. If you say, I guess you're right, or I guess you're right, that's going to come off as sarcastic, and nobody likes that. So practice repeating these phrases. But now, let's go to the about the conversation. So you can answer here, wherever you have space, or if you need to, in your notebook. So, number one, what does Isabella do? Isabella, what does Isabella? She says she's not a model anymore. She's a trendsetter. Trendsetter. So your answer, what does Isabella do? She is a trendsetter. There you go. She is a trendsetter. Who does she work for? All right, so this is a trendsetter. So who do you work for? Actually, I work for the fashion industry. So she works for the fashion industry. All right, let's move that a little bit up to give us some room down here. And what kind of buyer is Emily? So, right here, Emily says, nobody tells me what I should buy. I'm a responsible buyer. So, you can say, Emily is a responsible buyer. There you go. And the last one, what does she think about people who follow trends? So here she says, I'm a responsible buyer. Isabella says, I agree, but most people aren't as smart as you. And then Emily says, they're so silly. They buy whatever their role models advertise. So what does she think? She is talking about Emily. So Emily thinks they are silly. All right. So Emily thinks they are silly. That's that section. So after you write down the answers, practice reading the question and reading the answers. And remember, this is true. So what she says right here. So they're so silly they buy whatever their role models, such as actors or sports stars, advertise. That is what the fashion industry thinks about you. They think you're not smart enough to make your own decisions. So you buy whatever your favorite people wear. So be careful when you're making those decisions. Now, let's go to the pronunciation section.
Page 63. Pronunciation. Listen and repeat. Notice how content words, like nouns and main verbs, receive the strongest emphasis.
The ring was created by an American jeweler.
The well-known designer started his now famous business in Paris.
All right, so this is very subtle, very subtle. It's very hard to notice the difference, but it's saying that nouns, your main verb, typically these things have more of an accent when we say it. So you might say the ring was created, or the ring was created by an American jeweler. So it's a little thing. Don't worry about it if you don't get it. Just practice listening and repeating, listening and repeating, so you can get the pronunciation down. So that's what is important. And now let's go to the listening section. It says listen and choose what each advertisement is trying to sell. So in number 1, you have these 3 options. So you have to listen and figure out what are they trying to sell you. Our internet is kind of slow right now, so it may take a second. So bear with me.
Page 63. Listening. Listen and choose what each advertisement is trying to sell. 1,
Sunblock gives a beautiful tan, and it protects your skin against the hot sun and the wind. It lasts all day long. It isn't greasy, and it doesn't come off in the water.
2,
There's nothing like fizz to quench your thirst and make you feel cool. It's fresh, invigorating, and tasty. Try fizz now.
3,
I felt terrible. My head was hurting, and I felt sick in the stomach. I drank some relief, and 10 minutes later, I felt fine again.
4,
It may not be as luxurious as a Mercedes or as fast as a Ferrari, but it's reliable, economical, carries 2 people, and most important, you can park it anywhere.
All right, so let's listen to those and stop after each section to figure it out. So back to number 1.
Page 63. Listening. Listen and choose what each advertisement is trying to sell. 1,
Sunblock gives a beautiful tan, and it protects your skin against the hot sun and the wind. It lasts all day long. It isn't greasy, and it doesn't come off in the water.
All right, so is that perfume, suntan lotion, or scented soap? It is suntan lotion. Very good.
2,
There's nothing like fizz to quench your thirst and make you feel cool. It's fresh, invigorating, and tasty. Try fizz now.
All right, what do you think fizz is? Do you think it is a soda, cigarettes, or candy? It is a soda. Number 3.
3.
I felt terrible. My head was hurting and I felt sick in the stomach. I drank some relief, and 10 minutes later, I felt fine again.
4.
All right, so she had a headache, she took something, and now she feels better. So is that makeup, sports drink, or medicine? It is medicine. Very good. Number 4.
It may not be as luxurious as a Mercedes or as fast as a Ferrari, but it's reliable, economical, carries 2 people, and most important, you can park it anywhere.
All right, so this last one is a little tricky. So it's obviously some type of motorized vehicle. So it's not a handbag. All right, so it talks about 2 people and parking anywhere and economical. So 2 people park anywhere is a scooter. So that is it for this page. Remember, if you have questions, please send me a message so I can help you one-on-one. Thank you.